Good morning, everyone. Happy night to see you again. Nice to teach you again. Today we learn another lesson about science skill in year one, semester semester two. Today you are going to study a new subject that is about conjunctions. It is in unit 10. That is about conjunction. Okay, what is conjunction? Okay, look at the definition of the conjunction. A conjunction is a word which is mainly used to join sentences, together sentences, and somehow words. So conjunction is a word that is used to join sentences and words. Example, she is not only smart but also friendly. So the conjunction smart is used to join, and but is the conjunction is used to join the word smart and the word friendly, that is adjective. So but here you to join adjective with adjective. In example, he can choose either black car or silver car. So in the sentence, the conjunction either or you to join the word black car to the noun black car with the pronoun silver one. So one here is car, one car. One more example, if you come to my house, I will buy you a diamond ring. So in this sentence, the word if, the conjunction if is used to join two sentences. The first sentence is you come to my house, and the other sentence is I will buy you a ring. So two of these sentences is joined together, linked together by using the conjunction if. Okay, different type of conjunction. How many type of conjunction are there? So let's learn with me together. Okay, the first kind of conjunction is subordinating conjunctions. The seven subordinating conjunctions join together words or clauses of equal rank. So the subordinating conjunction is to join words or clauses that have equal rank, equal or similar rank. Subordinating conjunction, example like but, and, but, so, or, no, for, yet. All of these, all seven of these words are called subordinating conjunction. You can remember the subordinating conjunction by remembering the word fanboy. Fanboy here, F stands for, A stands for N stands for no, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, S stands for so you can remember the word fanboy. Fanboy is the abbreviation for the coordinating conjunction but, so, and, no, for, yet, or. Okay, example. Martin and I decided to enroll in university PSBU because we got scholarship. So the conjunction and is used to join the noun Martin and the pronoun I, that is subject. One more. My dog barked and chased a burglar. So the coordinating conjunction and is used to join the verb bark and chased. Join verb with verb. For example, I don't make a good grade, nor do I try very hard in school. So the conjunction nor is used to join two clauses, two sentences. I don't make good grade and I try very hard in school. Two of these clauses are connected or linked or joined by coordinating conjunction no. Okay, one more example. She is industrious, clever, yet unkind. So This sentence is using the word yet correlating conjunction yet here is used to join the adjective nasty, clever, and unkind. So yet the conjunction that show the contrast idea. If the adjective before yet or close up before yet positive, the clause or word after yet will be negative. Example here. And are still clever a positive adjective, and this is a negative meaning. This positive meaning. This is a negative meaning. Clever yet unkind. So unkind is opposite meaning. They reply very fast, but incorrectly. So in this sentence, okay, use the coordinating conjunction but. So but is the conjunction is used to join fast and incorrectly. Fast the verb, incorrectly also the verb. But fast is the positive meaning, incorrectly negative meaning. So remember, but is used to show contrast idea. Don't forget to put the fruit in the fridge or in the freezer. Don't forget to put the fruit in the freezer. So the word or is the conjunction used to join the phrase in the fridge and in the freezer. So or is used to show the agree or disagreement. So choice. If you do not put in the fridge, you can put in the freezer. If you do not put in the freezer, you can put in the fridge. So or is used to join here. The phrase in the fridge and in the freezers. Phrase. She looked so tired, so we asked to leave first. So in this sentence, the word so is a conjunction used to join two clauses. The first clause is she looked so tired, and second clause we asked to leave first. So is the conjunction used to show reason or reason to show reason. He is always crying. He is always crying for he is very sad. So the word for is the conjunction is to join two clauses. He is always crying and he is very sad. For is to show reason. The conjunction that is to show reason. Okay, another kind of conjunction is correlative conjunction. Correlative conjunction. The correlative conjunction are the ones that are working in pair for joining words or groups that carries some weight in a sentence in order to link equivalent element in a sentence. Usually, the correlative conjunction is used in pair here. They have indicated the relationship between elements they connect in a sentence. Okay, here are some examples of correlative conjunction. You can study it yourself, like both and, either on, either not only but also example. Okay, example. Both the lecturer and student come so early today. So the correlative conjunction both and is used to join the noun lecturer and student. One example, the teacher asked whether Sophia or Anita stole my pencil. So the correlative conjunction letter or is used to join the noun Sophia and Anita. Another example, the snow is not only heavy but also freezing. So the correlative conjunction not only but also is used to join, is used to connect two adjectives, heavy and freezing. Another example, the idea share not only by her but also by them. So the conjunction not only but also here you to join the phrase by her and by them. Okay, another example, neither will the worker go off strike nor negotiate until they receive a higher pay. So the corrective conjunction neither nor is to join two clauses. The worker go strike, and they receive higher pay. A common grammatical mistake that occur when using corrective conjunction. So there are some grammatical mistakes when using corrective conjunction, especially with the corrective neither nor and either or. So the subject and verb must agree with each other. A verb must agree with the subject that stands next to it. We can say that the verb must agree with the subject that must agree with the last subject. Okay, when two or more items are joined by word conjunction and serve as subject of the sentence, the number of the verb and the number of the verb, singular or plural, always allow or always follow the last option. So remember, the verb agree with the last subject. Multiple singular options do not create a plural noun. So although there are two or three singular subjects together, it do not make plural subject. Example. Neither students or the lecturer wants to see the concert. So the verb should be once, not one, because the verb must agree with the last subject here. Lecturer, the last subject is singular, so the verb is also singular. Although the student is plural, but the verb cannot be plural one like that. So the verb once here agree with the last subject lecturer. One more. Either the lecturer or students are going to buy concert ticket. So the verb are follow the second item in the pair of subject. So here agree with the last subject students plural. So do not agree with the first subject. The verb agree with the last subject, the subject that stands next to it. One more example. Neither Jake nor I am leaving for the United States. I am. Neither Jake nor I am. So you cannot say neither Jake nor I are leaving like that, because it is said that the sometimes that the word that join my corrective conjunction neither nor, the verb must agree with the last subject. So the last subject is I, so the verb must be am. The third kind of conjunction is subordinating conjunction. Whereas coordinating conjunction and correlative conjunction link to equal element, subordinating conjunction are linked between two unequal elements. So subordinating conjunction link between two unequal elements. They usually occur when you link a main or independent clause with a subordinate or dependent clause. So subordinating conjunction is used to connect or used to join a main clause with a subclause or subclause with main clause. Okay, the combination create a complete sentence that require the use of a subordinating conjunction. Okay, there are many subordinating conjunctions to keep track but here are the list of some common use of subordinate conjunction. Here are some subordinate conjunction. So at home you can study yourself, like after, because, less, example like that. All of these are the common subordinate conjunction. So try to read and learn more at home. Okay, next, how to use and punctuate. Punctuate. So when using the subordinate conjunction, you have to know when to use and how to punctuate how to use the punctuation correctly. There are two main functions. There are two main functions of subordinate conjunction. Okay, one to transition between two ideas, and one more to use important of one clause over another clause. Okay, can you have a listen? On a matter of importance, the main clause is one that is given importance over the subordinate clause. For example here, he often sit down to review lesson after he eat breakfast. So the clause stand for a conjunction, subordinate conjunction. Is less important than the main clause. This is the transition of the main clause. He often sit down to review lesson. Okay, one more way, reducing important. Although it is a beautiful day outside, he planned on working inside at my computer. Although it is a beautiful day outside, I plan on working inside at my computer. So although he was the subordinate conjunction, we could join two clauses. The first clause is a beautiful day outside, and other clause is I plan on working inside at my computer. I plan on working inside my computer, the main clause, and this is the subclause. So the main clause is more important than the subclause. Okay, recognize therefore main ways to construct sentences using subordinate conjunction. Okay, the first is the main clause and subordinate clause. Okay, how to connect the main clause and subordinate clause by using subordinate conjunction. There is no comma. There is no comma to require with this simple structure. So when main clause stand before the subordinate clause, there is no need to use comma. Example, this is the structure, main clause plus subordinate clause. Example, Sophan rub her eye as she watches her laptop. So Sophan rub her eye, the main clause. As she watches her laptop is the subclause. So main clause plus subclause. Okay, no need to use comma to separate the clause. This is the main clause, and this is the subclause. Okay, one more example. He prefers to write while his children are at school. So he prefers to write the main clause, and while his children are at school is the subclause. So main clause plus subclause without using comma. Okay, there are your subordinate conjunctions then. Subordinate clause, subordinate clause and main clause. If you place the subordinate clause and main clause next to what will happen? Because the sentence is begin with a dependent clause. Dependent clause can say subclause. A comma should usually come at the end of the subordinate clause before the start in the main clause, before starting the main clause. So if you play the subclause first and main clause later, we have to use comma. Use comma to separate the two clauses. The structure subclause plus comma plus main clause. Example: while I was driving a car ran across the road. So while I was driving is the subclause, and a car ran across the road is the main clause. So if we place the subclause the clause that introduced by the subordinate thing I mentioned. So if we place subclause first, we have to use comma. Okay, one more example. Although he told her the truth, she still didn't believe him. So although is the subclause, and she still didn't believe him is the main clause. So this sentence is connected by using the subordinate mention of those, and we place the subclause first, main clause later. We use comma to separate the two clauses, to connect the two clauses together. Look the other use of the subordinate mention. If we use main clause and essential relative clause. This is about a relative clause. Relative clause, we can say adjective clause. An essential clause is one that is needed for the sentence to make sense. So essential clause is a sentence is one that is needed for the sentence to make sense. So main clause need subordinate need the essential relative clause to add more meaning to the main clause to make sense, to make the sense clearly, to make the complete short. This involves the use of relative pronouns such as whether, who, that, which, whom, whose, example like that. If the relative pronoun is used to clarify a general noun, it is essential and does not require a comma before it. So you know that the main clause use plus essential clause, essential relative clause, we do not use comma. If the essential relative clause interrupt a main sentence, do not put a comma around it. For example, I like to type in the garden where it is open and fresh. So where it is open and fresh is the relative clause that add more meaning to the noun garden, to be clear, to make sense, to be complete. So the relative clause is necessary, so we do not use comma after main clause. Okay, one was on board a bag that was sold on the internet. So that was sold on the internet is the relative clause that add more meaning to the noun bag. So clause is essential clause, essential relative clause that add more meaning to the bag, the noun bag. You cannot use a comma. We don't use comma to separate the clause. I talked to a man who worked in ABA bank at the party yesterday. We don't know who the man. So who worked in ABA is the essential clause, essential relative clause that add more meaning to the man to be clear who the man that worked in a bank. Interrupted. I usually tell when I usually tell when my neighbor who won an old truck leave for work in the morning. So this is it. From who own an old truck, here is the subclause that introduced by uh, who. That is essential clause, essential relative clause that interrupt the main clause, separate the main clause. So the main clause here, I can easily tell when my neighbor leave for work in the morning. And the subclause is here from essential relative clause here. Who own an old truck? Okay, one more use of the subordinating action here. Main clause and non-essential relative clause. If the relative clause is non-essential, so what should we use? We have to use comma, the rule. This again use a relative pronoun. When the relative pronoun follows a specific noun, the clause is non-essential and should include a comma before it here. The main clause plus comma plus essential clause. So essential clause means the clause here is not important. We can leave out the clause because the noun that it modifies is already understood. If there is a non-essential relative clause interrupt a main sentence, put commas around it. Example: few people enjoy May was as much as Greg, who loved Star Wars. So who loves Star Wars is the relative clause. Relative clause here is not important. We can erase relative clause here because it's not essential. Because the noun that modifier already understood, like the name of the particular person, so it already known. So the clause is not essential here. That we call non-essential relative clause. If the non-essential relative clause is used to add meaning to the noun, like that we have to use can. One more example: I call up to read the first book of the Freedom Chronicle, which is one of my favorite series. So, which is one of my favorite series here is non-essential relative clause because the name of the book here is already understood as known. So the clause here is not important. So it was interrupted. Professor of the field who lecture in PSBU University is facilitating in room number 5. So who is a lecturer? Who lecture in PSBU University here is who lecture in PSBU is non-essential clause because the professor of the field is already understood or known. So this clause is not important because the name of the professor here already known in PSB University, so we can erase it. If we use this as to add more to professor here, we can use comma. We use comma around is non-essential clause, non-essential clause. One more example: when it comes to law article, Claudia, who is a legal risk, knows just what to write. So Claudia is the name of a particular person, is already known. So the clause here is not important, that we call non-essential relative clause. When non-essential relative clause interrupt the main clause, that we use comma, surrounded comma after main clause, and after non-essential clause. Okay, there are the conjunction is because we call conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb is also is a kind of conjunction. Conjunction has one job to connect the joint words, phrase, or clauses together to clarify what the writer is saying. Their presence provides smooth transition from one idea to another. When the job of an adverb is to connect idea, we call a conjunctive adverb. So conjunctive adverb is the adverb that is used to try to connect the idea that we call conjunctive adverb. Here the list of conjunctive adverb. Okay. These are the conjunctive adverb. So read more. The shall likely, also, beside, however, and if, instead, nonetheless, otherwise, similarly, still, so. All of these are conjunctive adverb. A conjunctive adverb can join two main clauses. In this situation, the conjunctive adverb behave like a coordinating conjunction connecting two complete ideas. Again, notice, however, that you need a semicolon, not a comma, to connect the two clauses. So when the conjunctive adverb is used to join two main clauses, we have to use semicolon, not comma, to connect the two clauses, to connect the two ideas. Here the structure: main clause plus semicolon plus conjunctive adverb plus comma. We can separate the conjunctive adverb by using what semicolon and then main clause plus the main clause. Example 2, Nairotha is trying to review all the lessons she has learned. Moreover, she has to get up early for her final test tomorrow. So here, moreover is the conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb here is used to connect two main clauses here. Nairotha is trying to review all the lessons she has learned, and the other main clause, she has to get up early for her final test tomorrow. Two of these main clauses connected by using the conjunctive adverb, and we have to use semicolon after the first main clause, and comma after the conjunctive adverb. One more. Koti has to build a house on the plot of his land, otherwise it will be invaded. So otherwise is the conjunctive adverb is used to join two of these main clauses by using semicolon after the first main clause and comma after conjunctive adverb. One more. I bought a set of benches for Phunsan Kampong Phnom High School. Therefore, teachers and students can use it for their purpose. So therefore is the conjunctive adverb is used to join two main clauses, and we use the semicolon after the main clause and comma after conjunctive adverb. Okay, more. A conjunctive adverb will also interrupt or conclude a single main clause. In this situation, you will often use a comma to separate the conjunctive adverb from the rest of the sentence. Remember, in this situation, you will often need a comma to separate the conjunctive verb from the rest of the sentence. It is said that conjunctive adverb will also introduce, interrupt, or conclude a single main clause. A single main clause. So in this situation, we have to use comma. Here, example, although, if you use here, this is the conjunctive adverb. Although she tried to study hard, this is the main clause, the first main clause. It just come after the first main clause to connect the two clauses. Although she tried to study hard, she still failed in her exam. Honor would here decline an invitation to go out. This young man is determined, nevertheless, to take her to dinner one night soon. So, nevertheless is the conjunctive adverb. It is used to complete only one main clause. So we use comma to separate not a semicolon, because after the conjunctive adverb here it is not a clause. Okay, one more here. The earthquake damaged a lot of buildings. Moreover, it broke some water pipe. It broke some water pipe. Okay, moreover, just come on. Okay. This is the end of the lesson. So at the end, I would like to thank you for your paying attention, and I want all of you to read more lesson in the book and do the exercise in the book that I ask you to do that assign you. So I hope that you will enjoy your learning, and if you do not understand when you read the book, the lesson in the book, you can see the video and my explanation here. So you will get more idea. You will understand the lesson easily. And if you have any question, you can comment, send me the SMS. The point that you understand, you can ask me, and I will help you later. Thank you. See you next lesson.